We are getting close to Micaville Loop here. This house has been uninhabitable since Hurricane Helene, and that house straight ahead to the left and to the right are also still uninhabitable. They look kind of okay from the outside, but there's just been so much foundation damage, it's tough to know what to do. New section of asphalt here. Now approaching Highway 19E, we'll go to the right in the northbound direction. You can see that sunken in roof across the creek. There's a creek down there, you can't really see it from here. I think this might be a Sprinter van that just got washed down the creek for a bit. Now turning back onto Highway 19. There was a massive water tank sitting on its side in that ditch there to the right. It had basically washed down the creek from, I think, close to 100 yards or more upstream. Yeah, that antique shop was in this building here. It says it's available for leasing, but it's going to be a big effort to get anything opened up in this building. We've still got these debris piles that got grass growing on them now. The Micaville Presbyterian Church on the right, and that is the historic Oak Art Gallery building. Now turning left onto Highway 80 going southbound, you can see on the right how high that creek carried sand up there, way up into those folks' yard. There's the sign for Mount Mitchell, 29 miles, and Marion 30 miles away from here. Micaville Elementary School that we just passed is also still shut down. There is the Carolina Hemlocks campground. They've got lots of tent and RV sites. And on the right, an excellent swimming hole. You can park there and not have to pay the campground fee, but still swim in the South Toe River. There are sadly several swimming holes that I would not go in now, like those spots that are downstream of a town, but this South Toe River that we're crossing here, we're pretty much just downstream from mountains, mostly uninhabited mountains, so I would feel safe swimming in this part of the river. I saw a helicopter land with emergency supplies in this field on the right. Here we can see the remnants of the landslide that washed out this section of road. And here's the South Toe River. You can see on the other side where the tree line was basically moved back. Here's our first sighting of the Mount Mitchell Golf Course, which is still unfortunately closed. Some course side condos on the right. I have never seen the grass of this course unmowed like this before. This looks like a terrific place to play golf. I'm not much of a golfer, but I've heard real good things about this course from some golfers I know. I have eaten at that country club restaurant though, pretty great. If you turn right here on South Toe River Road and then immediately take a left, it takes you here to Roaring Falls. This is Forest Service Road 552. This Roaring Fork hike was closed for a couple of months after Hurricane Helene because the parking area had a ton of downed trees in it, but also there's this massive landslide here covering the path. So it has since been cleared, but wow, it goes way up there. That would be interesting to hike up that. I think that little debris cluster that you see clinging to the top of the bridge probably washed from the other side of the bridge over top of the road and got stuck that way. We hung out at the bottom of the waterfall for a few minutes, now on the way up to the top of the waterfall, and I just thought that tree there was decaying beautifully. This is the very first hike I took my sweet puppy on a year and 3 months ago when we adopted her. So we are basically just hiking a couple of miles up Roaring Fork Creek. If we keep following this creek, we could connect to some of those Forest Service roads up there and then get all the way up to the Parkway. But I'm just a little too tired to do that today. This creek is divided up differently now. In some places it's 2 creeks where it used to be just 1. Rocks from the river bottom are just churned up, and the way that these trees are piled up is evidence of how furiously it was flooding through here. Connected to a service road, so we're going to follow this back down to the parking lot. Here's a tributary for the Roaring Fork Creek. Well, someone has the zoomies. For water bottle design, I think the simpler the better. Here you can see our path hiking up the Roaring Fork Creek and then cutting over to connect to the forest road to get back down. These trees are marked with 1, 2, 3, and 4. If anybody knows what that is, please let me know in the comments. There's some blue markings. Here's that landslide coming from the other direction. I always like to come up to Roaring Falls and bring guests here because it's an easy hike. I mean, most older people and toddlers could definitely get to the bottom of the waterfall and even to the top of it. Now continuing up Highway 80 after Roaring Falls, we are getting fairly close to the Blue Ridge Parkway up here. I wonder if it'll be open today. Probably not. This is new asphalt and guardrail through here. This whole section, as well as this section coming up, were both just completely washed out, like kind of little canyons with all the pavement broken away. And there is the Blue Ridge Parkway up ahead. There's a sign for Crabtree Falls 4 miles away, Roanoke 230 miles away. The last time that I was here, this gate was closed and there was a sign that said do not enter, but I don't see the sign and the gate is open, so let's see what we see. 1-lane road ahead, that sign says. I have not been on this section of Parkway in over 9 months. Okay, we got some concrete barriers up here for safety. Bet there's some gully washers there off the side of the mountain. I would love to go further on the Parkway, but we'll have to do that a different day. I'm supposed to be down at Chimney Rock by 3:30. Well, nice soil retention system they've got here. There is probably several of places along the Parkway that look just like this. I mean, it has been closed for 9 months in so many different sections. Riding the Parkway in that south direction would take you to Mount Mitchell or all the way down to Asheville. new asphalt and guardrail here. This was a big, scary washout a few months ago. Here on the left, you can see where they've dug out kind of a big bowl shape to catch that ballast stone they'll dump next. Well, it looks like this road is actually not passable right now. I thought that might be the case, being the time of day that it is. I usually wait and only come on this road if I know for sure that it's clear, but I had some extra time today and it had been a while since I came up here, so I decided to check it out. But yeah, now we'll just go back and take Highway 226 to get down to Bat Cave and Chimney Rock. There's a good vantage point to see all the tons and tons of new stone that's been dumped in here. Ahead on the left is a White Oak Road. I went down that road the other day and did a great hike called the Woody Ridge Trail that goes up to the Black Mountain Crest Trail. It was one of the steepest trails that I've done around here, and if I had the time, could have kept going on up to Mount Mitchell. Then there's several more miles of trails all around this area. You could make a several day long backpacking trip just in the Black Mountain Range. You can tell that this creek bottom really got churned up. That is a crazy fluorescent color. If anybody knows what this is, please let me know in the comments. Now taking Highway 80 after the Woody Ridge Trail, you can see on the left here that this is a collection site for Hurricane Helene debris. That's a lot. This sign for the Mount Mitchell Baptist Church says, "How easily we forget that God is in charge." So true. We are now approaching where Highway 80 North connects with the Micaville Loop. You can see that hanging off door frame on the left there. Here's Highway 19, left for Burnsville, right for Spruce Pine. Isn't that a beautiful farm property on the right? And coming up is the sign welcoming us into Mitchell County, indicating that we are leaving Yancey into Mitchell. There's a sign for Bakersville, Mitchell High, and Spruce Pine. There's a carnival up on the hill. There's the Mineral Museum on the right. There's an Eastern Continental Divide sign and a sign indicating that we are leaving Mitchell County into McDowell County. Now continuing onto Highway 226 South. New asphalt and guardrail right here. Curtis Creek Outdoor Recreation Area is on the right, closed for the season due to hurricane damage. And here you can look over on that old bridge and see where the water is puddling up there. See, that's where it looks compromised. I mean, the bridge is still there, but you can tell from that water puddling that it is not safe. You can see the end of the new asphalt right here as we go into Old Fort. There's Piggly Wiggly, the only one around here I know of. Some beautiful artwork on the right, and the famous Old Fort arrowhead up ahead. I have been in Chimney Rock for the past 4 hours or so. I'll put that out in a different video, but now I'm headed back north on Highway 9. You can see here to the left we were using that driveway as a temporary road until this new paved area and all that stone got dumped in. Here we are back on Old Fort Road. We'll look off the edge and see what they've been doing over here. There's a sign for live bluegrass music at the Hardee's restaurant on Sunday 2 to 4. Wow, that's how you know you're in the South, I reckon. There's the Hillman's Restaurant and Brewery. Lots of folks dining out on the deck this evening. Been on the bike for a while. I think I'll stop in here and get some French fries. I enjoyed some delicious fries, now headed back out of Old Fort. I stopped here because I heard a very faint, like metallic sound. I want to make sure nothing fell off my motorcycle. It looks like the little bolt that holds my GoPro onto the holder. I'd forgotten to screw it back into the holder when I took my camera off. Wow, I cannot believe that I heard that fall off of my bike. My motorcycle is really quiet, but still, wow, I can't believe I heard that. I sure am glad though. That's my good GoPro holding bolt. Some of them let the camera slide easily, but not that one. It holds the camera nice and tight. And now back across the new metal kind of grate bridge. Gotta be careful on these. They can kind of make you turn a little bit when you don't mean to turn. And now turning onto Highway 80 northbound. There's the Lake Tahoma Dam on the right. Beautiful evening. Now crossing over Buck Creek on Highway 80 north. There's 8 geese. Still lots of folks living in campers displaced from their houses around here. And on the left, that used to be the Sunnyvale Baptist Church. The last time I was here, the church building was still there, but this back corner by the creek had washed off. But it looks like they decided they had to demolish it. It's a bummer. But that's how a lot of the buildings are around here. There'll be a whole lot of it that's still strong and in decent shape, but the cost to repair the foundation is just not worth it. It would be better to start over in a lot of cases. There's lots of new culverts on the left that will be installed soon. Sorry, I think GoPros are great, but they really are not for low light conditions. Got a nice half moon out tonight. And here we are at the same point here on Highway 80 that we had to turn around at earlier today when I tried to go down this road southbound. Well, almost back home to Burnsville. I'm going to be leaving these North Carolina mountains here soon for a few days to go down to the panhandle of Florida. My grandfather-in-law, my wife's paternal grandfather, sounds like he will not be able to inhabit his physical body much longer. I've got to know him for about 8 years and very thankful to have the opportunity to get to know him. He was always very welcoming to me, like an adopted grandson, and he always loved to hear me play guitar. He would always video it, and just a really great guy. He was almost 94 years old, but he was a great grandfather and will be missed. He lived close to Pitt Springs with his wife, who is still with us, so after we were done visiting for the day, we came and cooled off at Pitt Springs. The water here is unbelievably cold for something in Florida. Here's some beautiful butterflies. On a different day, when we were done visiting for the day, we came here to Falling Waters State Park, just a few minutes away from my grandpa-in-law's house. You can send the government pictures so that they can monitor the health of the ecosystem here. This is the deepest sinkhole in Florida. Cute little frog toad buddy. Thank you for watching. May God bless you, and happy birthday to the USA.